So it's been quite tight timing today. We've had a very long drive. It's been about 6 hours and we've made it through the border crossing fine, but we have a deadline to get to the campsite before 6 o'clock. So we just made it in time to the cultural village just as well, the dance and singing had already started, so we just snuck in and it was amazing, like the energy they had and the way that they like would kick their legs up into their face. It looked like they were almost kicking themselves, but apparently we asked them and they said that they're not, but they're so close to their face. We've just arrived at the campsite and there is like a watering hole and we've literally just seen 2 rhinos right on the water's edge as the sun's setting. The day couldn't get any better. Hey everyone, we're Hannah and Jonny, also known as Finding Our Adventure. In this epic series, we're tackling the wild and beautiful roads of South Africa. Our journey begins in Johannesburg before we explore the incredible Kruger National Park. From there, we cross the border into Eswatini and then towards Lesotho to take on the legendary Sani Pass. After crossing back into South Africa, we hit the stunning garden route before arriving in Cape Town 1 month later.
Good afternoon everybody and welcome to part 3 of our South Africa overlanding adventure. If you haven't watched the first 2 parts yet, I highly recommend going and checking those out before watching this one. And we have just driven from where we were last week in Tinswalo about 5.5 hours to the Eswatini border with South Africa. It's been a long drive and we've been in a bit of a rush because we've had to get through the border before it closes, which we've just stamped out of South Africa now, and we've got to stamp into Eswatini, and then we've got to be able to get to our camp tonight before 6 before it gets dark, because we are going to be camping on a wildlife reserve, so the gates will close at 6, so we've still got about an hour to go. So fingers crossed we get through the Eswatini side of the border pretty quick now. We've successfully made it through the border from South Africa to Eswatini, and we made it through the Managa border, which is like the furthest eastern border. It was quite quiet actually. There was hardly any queue to get through, which made it pretty quick. So we had to get our passport stamped coming out of South Africa, and then so making sure that it has documentation of us leaving the country, and then we had to queue it up. So we drove around the other side, and then there's another bit for arrivals to Eswatini, so we had to get our passports stamped there. They also check like your vehicle, and we also had to get to pay a road tax, which was 100 rand. And then once you've done all that, you basically drive straight to the exit point, and there's someone that just does final checks. They check that you've paid the road tax, check the inside of your car, and they also don't allow meat or alcohol to be imported, so you have to declare that before you get to that point. So yeah, very easy process and very straightforward. So now we're on our way to the campsite and hoping to get there before it gets dark. We've had a very long drive today, all the way from Kruger to Eswatini, and the contrast in the landscape. So we were driving through a lot of like orange plantations and bananas this morning, and then Eswatini, as we've just come in through the border, there have been signs about sugar cane, and we're now just driving past fields and fields of sugarcane. It goes as far as our eyes can see, which is crazy. And also the car in front, we reckon, just ran over a snake. But yeah, it's very beautiful here. The people so far at the border crossing were really friendly, so we're really excited to explore this new country. So it's been quite tight timing today. We've had a very long drive. It's been about 6 hours and we've made it through the border crossing fine, but we have a deadline to get to the campsite before 6 o'clock. Oh my goodness. And there's loads of these speed bumps along the road, which you can't really see. There's no signposts on for them. They just appear. So that's been slowing us down a bit. Yeah, we're hoping that there isn't like 2 gates, because in Kruger there was well, there was 3 gates. There was like the first gate to get into the park, which is kind of like a security gate, and then there was another gate to get your tickets, and then another gate to the campsite. So we're not 100% sure what the deal is with this campsite, because it is in one of the parks. So hopefully there's not 3 gates, because otherwise I'm not sure if we're going to get there for 6 o'clock.
because at the moment it's saying that we're going to get there a few minutes, well, 20 to 6, so we hope that we will make it to the campsite before 6. So yeah, fingers crossed. We've just arrived at the campsite and there is like a watering hole, and we've literally just seen 2 rhinos right on the water's edge as the sun's setting. The day couldn't get any better. Well, that was pretty special, seeing 2 rhino just not that far from us. And there's also, I think, a hippo that was like bobbing up and down. But yeah, beautiful sunset here, and incredible that you can literally camp and they've got watering holes, so you can come here. There's a lot of other people here just sat with drinks, enjoying the sunset and the view. I'm sure it's also probably a really good spot in the morning, so maybe we'll get up early and see what we can find there. But yeah, it seems like a really nice spaced out campsite. They've got a bar as well, so that's where everyone's getting their drinks from. But yeah, I've made it just in the nick of time, so now we can relax and sleep well tonight.
After spending quite a few hours in last episode in Tinswalo looking for a rhino, which just managed to evade us, turning up here and seeing 2 white rhino just drinking and just being really chilled and getting lots of photos and videos was absolutely incredible. It's really quiet here as well. There's not many campers here. There's a few overlanding vehicles, so we've just parked up in a really nice spot. There's some buck just over there, and it feels like the fences are only really to stop the big animals coming in, and potentially we could get hyena and stuff coming to camp tonight. So yeah, sun's going to set soon, so we're going to set up camp and get ready for that, so we don't have any hyenas chasing our dinner.
So for dinner this evening I have cooked some ostrich, which is what we had at Tinswalo, and I thought, well, it tasted so good I had to try and see if I could recreate it. So it basically is like steak, so I've cooked it with like a brie like sauce, which I think you're supposed to like leave it in, but I didn't have time for that, so chucked it on, put some of the rub that Jonny got, and just let it rest for a bit, and it looks good. So we're gonna tuck into that. We've also made some like pasta with red peppers, and we've got a nice little mayo and some Nando sauce. It's completely pitch black now, and you just can hear all of the crickets around us.
Good morning everybody. We had a pretty peaceful night's sleep last night, and it was a lot cooler in the evening, which was really nice. It's already got pretty warm again this morning, but as we were waking up we could hear, at sunrise we could hear the lions roaring, so that was pretty cool. I've just spoken to one of the other campers and they were out this morning and they saw them roaring, which was really nice. But we decided to have a bit of a lie-in this morning. It's now 8:39 because we've been pretty exhausted getting up for all the safaris so far, so it's been nice to have a little bit of a quieter, relaxed morning. We've just had breakfast and now we're going to go have a little wander around the campsite and see if there's anything but a watering hole. We've just wandered over to the watering hole. and it's very quiet compared to when we arrived last night. There's no rhino this morning. There's a few block on the other side of the watering hole, and there's a big fat hippo just wallowing away and enjoying the nice cool water in the morning. And you can actually do a self-drive game drive here, so we might go do that in a bit before leaving and see what we can spot. Just now there's a big splash next to the edge of the water, and it's a crocodile that was going from one of the box that was walking around. Didn't get it, but it's gone back in now, so I've just got a shot of it floating away. But yeah, big crocodile in there.
This morning's drive, we have been driving on very long straight roads, and they just seem to go on forever. We're currently driving on the MR3, which is basically the road we're going to be taking all the way to where we're going to this morning. And it's like 40 miles of just straight road, which is crazy, but it's very easy to navigate, so it's nice and easy driving. There's a few speed bumps still in the villages just to slow you down, but yeah, the roads here are insanely straight compared to the ones we were driving up in Kruger, where they were winding, going through the mountains. So we just made it in time to the cultural village, just as the dance and singing had already started. So we just snuck in, and it was amazing, like the energy they had and the way that they would kick their legs up into their face. It looked like they were almost kicking themselves, but apparently we asked them and they said that they're not, but they're so close to their face. It was very beautiful singing and dancing, and they invited us to get up and dancing, but Johnny sat down, so I did all the dancing.
I didn't get asked.
Johnny didn't get invited. So yeah, then we've just done a cultural village tour, and they've shown us around like the traditional houses. They're all like circular domes made out of grass, and there's basically like 3 domes per wife, and you can also tell from the fences around them they have like different number of lines to signify whether it's a house or like a kitchen area, or like a bedroom or a kitchen area. So 3 I think was kitchen and 4 was a bedroom, and we learned a bit more about how they interact and how a man is allowed more than 1 wife, and they have like separate areas. So like when they're coming into one of the huts, the men go in first and they go on one side, and the women have to go in after the men and they go on one side, and they have specific areas where men are only allowed. So yeah, very interesting tour, would very much recommend it. It's pretty hot now. Another quite morbid thing, this rock up here, I think I recorded some of the bits where if they did anything bad, they would be executed. Murdered. If they murdered someone, they would have to go to the top of that rock, and they'd have to basically die on the other side of the cliff. They'd be pushed off. So if they didn't do it themselves, they would have someone behind them with a spear, basically telling them they couldn't go back. So they don't do that anymore. They said that now they have just traditional prisons. So, but the bodies used to be left up there because of if they couldn't bring them back down because of the bad spirits. And that's another reason why the buildings are circular, is because that they believe that the bad spirits would hide in corners, so everything is circular.
We've left the Swazi cultural village and we've driven about 20 minutes down the road to a Swazi candle centre that has been really wanting to go to. It's got loads of really nice little shops here, loads of like handcrafts, and so we're going to go take a little look around, and then I think after that we're going to probably try and get through the border tonight back into South Africa.
Hi, hello. My name is Bomusa Mazibuga, an artist from Swaziland here to Eswatini. I'm gonna make one for you to see from this one, but we buy this our raw material. We call it a paraffin wax. So this one, it's a waste from the petrol production. It came in blocks already like this. So we keep them inside here. So here it's like an oven, so we keep it warm and soft. So the temperature is already 50 degrees Celsius, and these are different colored pieces we have. So we just mold the wax into a ball, then you wrap with the color. Then it comes out a colored ball like this one. So from this ball, I'm going to make an elephant. It takes 5 minutes to make one. Just 5 minutes. And when I'm making it, I have to be quick while it's still warm. Yeah.
Down already?
Sorry?
Is it still warm or is it still starting to cool down?
Yeah, it did big hardly. So the eyes are also wet.
Yeah.
And here, it's where the wig goes in. With the wig here. So this one is a baby, no tusk. No tusk for this one.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I had to be dragged away by Jonny because they were so beautiful, all the different candles. I was like mesmerized by all the colors and like the patterns, and like I find it really difficult making decisions. So the fact that I was able to find some that I really liked and was actually a really hard job for me, so I just kept going back and said, Jonny, oh, can I get this one as well? And he's like, okay, we've got to go now. But yeah, it's really cool. I would definitely recommend it because you can actually see them making it, and they show you like the whole process. So they use the paraffin wax, which is actually like a waste product from petrol. So yeah, they add the colors, and then they go through it and make different patterns. So yeah, we've come out with some rhinos and an elephant, and now we are gonna, I think, head to the border.
We left the candle store 2 hours ago and we've been driving through what's felt like never-ending sugarcane and banana plantations, and as we said earlier, the roads here are so incredibly straight. That was probably the longest 2-hour drive, just because it's just like straight, and we've just arrived at the border now, and we've just been stamped out of Eswatini, and now we're just going to head through to the South African side and get stamped back into South Africa. One thing we always do, so we just got back in the car after being stamped out of Eswatini, is we always check our passports to make sure we have the correct stamp in our passport, because we don't want to get to the South African side and they can't find an exit stamp or anything. So they're all stamped, they're all good, and we're going to go through now. You good? Thank you. So, just getting into the South African immigration office now, but before that we had to have our temperatures taken as a health screening, and we've been given a little slip that we need to hand over in this part as well, so fingers crossed we get through okay. I think we're all good, it's just a temperature thing, so we're just going to go get stamped in now.
The border crossing back into South Africa at the Golela, I think it's what it's called. It also has another name, I think it's Lovisima, but it was very easy to get through and pretty straightforward. We didn't have to have like a vehicle check. They didn't like ask us to open up anything really. They just asked us if we had a good day, so it was quick and easy getting through there. We're now driving through a nature reserve, I think. We just saw a sign that said that there could be wild hogs and elephants crossing the road, so it's a beautiful view from here at the moment. You can literally just see the road is like straight as far as the eye can see, surrounded by lots and lots of trees. So yeah, we're going to try and find a campsite now, because it's about an hour and a bit till it gets dark. So yeah, that is the mission for now. Find somewhere to sleep for the night, and then tomorrow figure out what we do then.
So that's been a bit of a mission. We've got through the border and it's about half an hour now till dark, and we've changed our plans slightly, and we were planning to go down to the coast originally, but it's too much driving, so we've changed our plans slightly, and we weren't going to make it there anyway, so we've just found a campsite. It's the only one in the area, and it was about a half an hour drive to it, and there's nothing around it. And we got to the gate and the security guard said, unless you've got a booking you can't come in, and we're like, great, can we just go down to the reception? The reception's closed, so there's nothing we can do about it. And eventually we managed to get the WhatsApp number of the person who's managing it, and they let us in, because as I said, there's nothing around here, so we would have been really stranded with dark, sunset literally about to happen, dark coming in pretty soon. Yeah, I don't know what we would have done, but thank goodness for the team here letting us in, and yeah, we've got a campsite for tonight, so happy days. Well, this is the campsite. There's pretty much no one else here. We're the only vehicle camping. There's a couple of chalets that we have seen some people in, so it's very empty, it's very quiet. There's actually a pool over here as well. I'll just show you this. I don't think we're going to get time to use this, but you never know. So there's the pool. It's pretty cool, and we're just going to get some dinner on now, and probably maybe even have a shower and get an early night, because we've got some more driving to do tomorrow to head over west. But that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We had an amazing time exploring Eswatini. It's definitely a country we never thought of visiting, but it's really cool to overland through as you're doing Southern Africa. And yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to give us a like and a comment, and let us know which your favourite part is, and subscribe because it helps this channel grow. And we'll see you next time for a new adventure.